Hi friends, welcome to Tony Renee at Home. I am doing the Three Rivers Homestead Every Bit Counts Challenge. This is my first week. I went from Tuesday to Tuesday, edit on Wednesday, upload on Thursday. So every Thursday this month, you can look for an extra video from me besides my Wednesday and Sunday, and it will be for the Every Bit Counts Challenge. Let's see what I had going on this first week. So our garden isn't doing all that great this year. And so I just have a little dab of stuff, and it's easier to throw it in the freeze dryer than in the freezer because I don't have room. So on my top shelf here, I have some paste tomatoes. And then on the next shelf, I have some banana peppers in the front, and then in the back, I have some grape tomatoes that I just cut in half. I have some cayenne peppers and some jalapeno peppers here on this tray. And then I had a little bit of strawberry yogurt, and I wanted to make some yogurt drops for my grandbaby. So I put those on this last tray because I didn't have anything from the garden to put on it. And so I just added those to fill up the freeze dryer before I ran it. And then so this is what everything looks like when it was done. And I'll just put it in jars because when I have little dabs like this, I'll figure out what to do with it later. Probably the tomatoes I will just grind up and use in soups and stews. The jalapenos there and the cayennes I'll put in a jar for Adam. This is the yogurt drops. They are so yummy. My grandbabies love these things, and so they will really enjoy having those. Okay, my kitchen's a mess right now because we just finished dinner. But there's something else I'm going to do. I saved out some of the banana peppers. They smell so good. I am wanting to learn how to do more fermenting just for good gut health. So I looked up the ratio salt to water, and the website, I'm sorry, I can't remember, I will put it across the screen what the website was, said their rule of thumb for their household is 1 to 3 tablespoons per quart of salt per quart of water. I thought I had my salt here. I have my salt here now. I don't have a tablespoon now. And so my quart of water. You know what? I think I'd like to add some garlic to that. I always keep this ginormous bag of Spice World garlic from Sam's. The healthiest? I don't know. Convenient? Yeah. I can't get it open though. I'm just gonna stick about 5 cloves of garlic down in here. What have I just done? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'll put that up in a second. Okay, I think I'm gonna go, you know what, I'm just gonna do 1.5. I'm only doing a pint. And I don't want it to be too salty. I just had that laying over my water while I was fixing dinner, so no dust or anything fell in my water. You want everything to be clean, very, very clean when you are fermenting, because you don't want any bad bacteria in your jars. I'm just stirring this to dissolve that salt. That was Himalayan pink salt. This is filtered water out of the Berkey. Get that out of the way so I don't get any water in my salt. salt in my water? Yes. Water in my salt? No. And I am just going to cover this with my salt. I'm going to get a little bowl. I should have been more organized. But Adam just left for work. And I remembered, I forgot to finish this up. Okay. This was my weight, my fermentation weight. Show you what I'm using. I got this off of Amazon. I'll link it below. It's the Silverware, or maybe it's, there's only one L there, so maybe it's Silverware. I don't know, but it's a fermentation kit for wide mouth mason jars. It comes with the little pipes, pickle pipes, and it comes with the weights, and it comes with the puncher, and it comes with instructions, but there are some, I don't really follow those instructions in there because they said there were some mistakes, and I don't have the updated version. It's online, but that's neither here nor there. And that's all you do. Salt water for your brine. Make sure everything is under the weight, because I make sauerkraut and I make sourdough, but I just never made anything else. I don't know why. So this is my first shot at doing something else. We'll set this aside and keep an eye on it, and I'll let you know. I'm going to pour the rest of this stuff out of here, but I'm just going to leave this set in this bowl because it might spew. There's a little hole here in the top of this little nipple, and I want to be sure that it doesn't go over my counter. So I'm going to set this aside, and I'm going to try this because it's actually, you know what, it's August 1st today. So I'm going to check it out in 7 days. Next day was peaches, and a lot of the peach crop was lost this year. We have 2 local orchards that we buy from, and they both said they lost 80 to 90% of their crop. And we have a local peach festival here. In fact, the town that I grew up in has or hosts the peach festival. And so they have to be sure that they have enough for the peach festival every year. So one of the places, you're only allowed to get a peck. But I haven't canned peaches for 2 years. Had I known this last year, I would have been sure to put some up last year, but I just didn't get any. And I'm not sitting here telling you how to do any of this because this is my next video that's coming out, and I will explain everything in that video. That will be out on Sunday, so be sure and watch for that. And so you'll see me here using my favorite 4 jars. That's all I use for canning now. These I did hot pack. That's why you see them in that pot. I hot packed these. I have never done that before, but I wanted to see what it was like to hot pack this year. Getting them in the canner, and I had some extra jars. That was my biggest canner, so I had extra jars to fill up. So I get all of those jars filled up and cover them with the hot syrup that is in the pot. And I use a medium syrup when I do my peaches. They call for a heavy syrup, but I don't want all that sugar, so I just use a medium syrup when I can my peaches. And I'm not going to throw the extra syrup away because I'm going to reuse that, because the next video after that will be a raw pack method of canning peaches. And so I'm going to save the peach syrup that these cooked in from doing the hot pack, and then I'm going to use that for raw packing my peaches for the next video. So be sure and subscribe, because you will want to not miss either one of those. And then here's what they look like when they come out of the canner. They I thought doing the hot pack method, it might fill it up more, but you can see there's still some area in the bottom of the jars because they all floated to the top. The next day I had a little bit of onion left over from dinner, so I'm putting that on a freeze dryer tray. I had some peppers in my freezer. I wanted to make room, and so I took those out and put them on the tray. We had some limes left over from a brine Adam made when he smoked some meat. And then I still had some of the strawberry yogurt left. And so I just piped some of those drops onto this leftover tray and then up the sides of the lemons. And so these were ready to go into the freeze dryer on this day. The next day I'm water glassing some eggs. So you want a quart of clean filtered water and an ounce of lime. This is just pickling lime. And after struggling with the bag there, I decided to cut it because I couldn't get it open. It was vacuum sealed sealed and I couldn't get it open. So it's an ounce of lime, and I'm measuring that out there in my measuring cup to a quart of water. So you just add your lime to your water in your jar, and then I'm going to be stirring it up before I add my eggs. Our chickens just aren't laying very well for whatever reason. They are older, and this is a year that we're turning over our flock, but our chicks won't be laying for several months. So I am water glassing eggs right now so I can be sure and have some when or until our baby chicks are old enough that they start laying. They're just a few weeks old right now and just starting to feather out. And when you add your eggs, you want to be sure that they're very clean, and you add them point side down, and they're going to end up on their side, those that are there in the bottom. But when you add them in, you want to be sure that they're point side down. You want to be sure that they're very clean. You don't want any chicken mess over any of your eggs. That's why you see me setting some to the side there and some left in that other carton, because you want to be sure that they are very clean and you are not putting any kind of chicken mess into your jar there, because that could contaminate the whole jar and ruin the whole thing. And you don't want to go through all of this and then have it ruined. Excuse me. So I am going through the eggs now. If you can pick it off like I just did there, that's fine, but they need to be clean, unwashed eggs that you put in your jar. And you need to be sure that your eggs are covered by the water. You don't want to leave them sticking out of the top of the water in any way. Okay, we're doing peaches again, but this time I am raw packing the peaches. Last time we hot packed, this time we are raw packing. And again, I'm not explaining how I'm doing this because this will be the video that comes out after my hot pack method. And at the end of this video, I'll be explaining the difference between the two and taste testing and telling you which one I prefer. So be sure and look for those videos, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss those videos when they come out. And so you just put your raw peaches in the jar, and then I saved that syrup that I cooked the peaches in yesterday, and that's what I've got heating up here in this pot, and that's what I'm going to use to cover these peaches with. And then we will get them water bath canned, and we will get them ready to put in our pantry as well. And then I still had some of that syrup left over, and now it was flavored really well because I had cooked those peaches in it for the hot pack method. So I saved that, and I had a couple of jars of raw peaches to finish canning up. And so on this day I finished raw packing those peaches and canning those, and I canned this syrup as well. I've already used it in some tea for some peach tea, and let me tell you, it takes tea to a whole new level. But I have so many other ways in mind to use this syrup, so I am so excited to have this on my pantry shelves. Like, subscribe, and ring the bell. Thanks for watching. God bless.